Hi, I'm Paleo Emma, and welcome to my video. Did dinosaurs fart? Yes, they did. So much so, in fact, that some paleontologists believe that the amount of farting that occurred could have helped with or sped up the process of prehistoric global warming. It sounds totally insane, but to put it into a modern perspective, today's cows, goats, sheep, giraffes, and other ruminants contribute to global warming by releasing as much as 100 million metric tons of methane per year. So just try to imagine what the 100-ton Argentinosaurus produced. Now this is just a theory, and one that people have misinterpreted as dinosaurs ripping cheeks so much that they Dutch oven themselves and go extinct, which is not true. The warming from dinosaur burps and farts back then is of course dwarfed by man-made carbon dioxide from today's industries, so why don't you think about that for a little bit. Did dinosaurs lay eggs? They absolutely did, and as far as we know, all dinosaurs laid eggs. Different species laid different clutch sizes and tended to their eggs and hatchlings for various time amounts as well. Finding fossilized eggs is rare, and eggs with preserved embryos inside is even rarer. But through these finds, along with fossil nesting colonies and infants, we have been able to learn so much about the beginning of the dinosaur life cycle. Did dinosaurs have feathers? Some definitely did. It's been suggested that feathers had originally functioned as thermal insulation, like the fluffy down feathers of infant birds today, prior to their eventual evolution in birds into structures that support flight. Although the majority of evidence for non-avian feathered dinosaurs has been found for the theropod family, feather-like integument has also been discovered in at least 3 ornithischians. How did dinosaurs mate? With their immense size and dangerous anatomical adaptations, it's kind of a mystery on how dinosaurs managed to have sex. We can't know 100% because reproductive organs don't fossilize and there has been no cotton 4K fossils found yet. We do know that dinosaurs likely had a cloaca, which if you're unaware is a single opening for urination, defecation, and reproduction. The 2 viable options are, and please future Emma do not put any sound effects over what I'm about to say. The male uses his retractable penis and mounts the female likely from the rear and fertilizes the egg internally. Or a mechanism called cloacal kissing, which can be seen in some modern birds where the male squirts, let's not use the word squirts, ejects semen out of his cloaca into the lady's cloaca. The cloacal kiss. How did dinosaurs sleep? Like most aspects of paleontology, we haven't got much hard evidence, so it comes down to hypotheses. Different animals have different sleeping habits depending on its size, weight, and especially on whether they're bipedal or quadrupedal. It's possible that sauropods, similarly to horses, slept standing up. As with their tremendous weight, it would be extremely difficult to get back up from a lying position. Plausible option for both quadrupeds and bipeds would be sleeping in a crouched position with their legs folded underneath them. Some dinosaurs may have curled up with their head craned and resting on their back like modern birds do. This we actually have evidence for, which I rarely get to say. Maylong, a genus of troodontid dinosaur, was found beautifully preserved in this exact sleeping position. How did dinosaurs sound? Once again, something we can't be totally sure of, but they definitely didn't have those mammalian-esque roars as they do in the movies. It's been speculated that dinosaurs like the T-Rex possibly bellowed like crocodilians. And you might be thinking, dinosaurs and birds are closely related, so is it possible they could have sung and chirped like birds? Birds have a unique vocal organ. While most vertebrates make sounds using their larynx, birds use a syrinx. Scientists aren't exactly sure when syrinxes first appeared. A syrinx from 67 million years ago was discovered, but this syrinx was from an ancient duck relative, not a huge dinosaur. Syrinxes are soft structures, so finding fossilized ones are extremely rare anyways. A syrinx would have allowed a dinosaur to make 2 sounds at once. Do dinosaurs still exist? Other than our modern living birds, no, unfortunately dinosaurs do not still exist. And I say this with the most scientific confidence because they disappeared from the fossil record after the KPG extinction event. For even one dinosaur to be alive today, there would have to be a 65 million year lineage of fossils dating all the way up to right now. Yet, for as long as complex human intelligence has existed, there have been stories and sightings of prehistoric-looking animals. People claim legends like the Mokele-Membe as proof that there are modern living dinosaurs, but for a species of solitary dinosaurs to be hiding out undetected, something extremely preternatural would have to be occurring, and we just don't have a basis for something like that. Why did dinosaurs get so big? There isn't going to be just one singular answer to this. Many components had to work together. The climate of the Mesozoic era was widely warm and carbon dioxide rich, which created a lush, plant-abundant environment. From an evolutionary perspective, this would have allowed herbivores to gain mass, which would have pushed carnivores to also gain mass so they could prey on large herbivores, which then would have pushed large herbivores to gain even more mass so they could avoid being preyed on by large carnivores. There are also just intrinsic biological features that set certain species up to become giant. Sauropods are a great example of this. Their long necks gave them quite the advantage, having access to high-up food, pretty much a private buffet just for them. They had air sacs which acted as a thermoregulation aid, cooling their bodies so they could have that fast metabolism without overheating. They consumed food whole, so there was no wasted energy on rigorous chewing, and a huge stomach that stored food for weeks. And with all of these attributes working together, they created the biggest creature to ever walk the face of this planet. Could dinosaurs survive in snow? Yes, they could, and some even chose to live in polar regions. Fossilized plants from the north slope of Alaska indicate that temperatures in these high-latitude areas were only slightly warmer than today, with average minimums of 35 to 45 degrees and maximums of about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And in this same environment, theropods, hadrosaurs, and ceratopsians have been discovered. The dinosaurs who migrated to these polar regions had to develop adaptations for the chilly temperatures and 6 months of annual darkness. They may have developed thicker skin or feathers for further heat retention than their homeothermy could provide. Their eyes may have changed too, developing night vision or something like it. Could dinosaurs ever be brought back? I would like to say no because it's improbable and it's unethical. Oh, shut up. You know it is. But I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't tell you what the hypothetical future holds, so let me just tell you why it likely will not happen. As we know, the fossilization process rarely ever leaves us anything soft. Not skin, not blood, organs, keratin structures, or muscles. But it can rarely happen. Soft tissue has been found in dinosaur fossils before. Even if things were as serendipitous as Jurassic Park, where we find an amber-encased mosquito full of Rexy blood, that does not guarantee DNA. Ancient DNA has been recovered from permafrost and subfossils, which is remains that have not been fully fossilized yet. But the oldest ever recovered DNA is only 1 million years old and likely younger than that. DNA simply breaks down over time. There's always articles coming out about genetically engineering a dinosaur clone out of a currently existing animal. And don't get me wrong, you could genetically engineer a chicken to be bigger, have a tail, claws, sharp teeth, but that does not make it a velociraptor. That is reverse engineering. It's just a deformed chicken. A cool deformed chicken, but it's just a chicken. Animals could be engineered to look like dinosaurs. Maybe even possibly fragmentary DNA could be found and filled in heavily with living animal DNA, but the chances that you and I are ever going to see a true dinosaur in our lifetime, it's as tiny as chances could get.